Hi, my name is Ruby Rose. I'm the founder of Virus. Super pleased to be here with Laurie Baron, who is a family attorney. More importantly, she's representing in IRU's mediation in Massachusetts. And we're going to be talking about what is mediation, what's the process like in Massachusetts, what happens, how do you get started, all the basics. And then at the end, I'll tell you how to reach out to Laurie if you want to ask her some questions and dive deeper into your personal divorce process. Thank you so much, Laurie, for being here. Really looking forward to hearing your knowledge.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to start off with the basics of divorce mediation. Divorce mediation is a way to resolve uh, issues and disputes uh, involved in a divorce outside of court. The issues um, that are that 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 people deal with are the standard ones: support, child support, alimony, distribution of the marital assets. Massachusetts is an equitable distribution state, which means that the assets are not distributed 50-50 among the parties. It's equitably distributed, it's fairly distributed. It very well may be 50-50, but it doesn't have to be. So, in order for any agreement, whether it's through litigation or through out of court settlement or out of court agreement, it has to be a fair arrangement. And so, what divorce does, it helps the parties work out those issues outside of court. Now, mediation is a voluntary process. Like I said, people are not represented when they're in the mediation room. Um, they 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 do have, and they should, although it's not required, they should have counsel outside advising them on what they should do. But it's a space for people to come in and work out the issues, come up with an agreement that's agreeable to both of them, be creative, and make sure that they're each satisfied with the agreement. It's very beneficial because it takes the power away from the court in determining the outcome and puts it in the party's hands. With that being said, though, there is uh, whatever agreement does come out of those sessions must be approved by the court. So it has to follow the rules. It has to follow the rules, uh, the child support rules, the alimony rules, the equitable distribution rules. And so the role of the mediator is not to give advice. The role of the mediator is a third party neutral. I happen to be an attorney. A lot of attorneys are third party neutral mediators, but they don't advise the people for whom they're mediating. They help facilitate the conversation. So, in that respect, each party's position, interests are acknowledged, each party is heard, and the mediator is the one that facilitates the conversation so the parties can know what the law is and then come to an agreement um, uh, that fits squarely within the laws that will most likely be approved by a judge. Now, there's a lot of room for creativity, and it's a very empowering process. So what happens in Massachusetts is there's several different ways to do a mediation, to do divorce. There's divorce on grounds, which is the standard grounds that everybody kind of knows about: adultery, abandonment. Each state has different ones, but they pretty much fall into the same categories. That's a way, that's litigation. That's a way where um, people uh, uh, claim that the other party um, did something, and they want the judge to determine whether or not that person did a certain thing, so that they can be granted a divorce. Most people don't do that anymore because Massachusetts, along with other states, but we're talking about Massachusetts now, they have no fault divorces. In Massachusetts, that's considered irretrievable breakdown. So essentially, there's the divorce is going to happen, whether somebody did something or not. The divorce is going to happen because it's no fault. the only so within that umbrella, there's two ways to go about it. There's a 1A, which is a joint petition. And in that respect, parties sit down, they come up with a separation agreement, and then they file the 1A joint petition. That's what mediation is designed to do. It's designed to get that separation agreement completed so the action can be filed, which is called the 1A. At that point, the parties go before a judge. The judge looks at the separation agreement, sees if it passes muster, and then the divorce is approved. From that point in Massachusetts, it takes 120 days actually for the divorce to be final. So you go before a judge, and then it gets approved, and then it takes 120 days before you're actually divorced. So it takes some time. The other way to go about a divorce is still no fault, but it's called a 1B. And that's if there are issues that can't be worked out, you basically go to litigation to work out the terms of the divorce agreement. The alimony, the child support, the distribution of the assets. Most divorces that go the 1B route never end up in trial. They end up settling before. I believe at this point it's 96% don't ever go to trial. Only 4% go to trial. So people spend a lot of money fighting it out and fighting out issues in front of a judge, spending tens of thousands of dollars sometimes, only to come to a resolution they could have come up with proper mediation. The thing with mediation too is your rights are still protected because you have the option, and you're highly encouraged to have a consulting attorney help you through it. So in the background, advising you on what to do, giving you advice on, what your rights are and what's in your best interest. So it really, the mediation space provides a space to work out the issues at hand without the environment of the courtroom. But you're still protected, and you will not leave that table without an agreement that both of you are comfortable with. Not everybody's going to get everything they want because it's a negotiation, but you will definitely leave that you will be okay with what you agree to. So it's a really good way to avoid the drama of court.
And obviously there's a lot of pros and cons to having a judge decide everything for you versus you and the other parent making the decision together for the betterment of all of you and your children included. So there's a lot of, sometimes it's good to have some information to really understand, like, what are some of the benefits that we could have, by saving our money, saving our time, doing things, quietly behind closed doors where we can make the decision, and how do we empower ourselves, and what kind of divorce legacy do we want to leave behind to the children. So wherever you're at in Massachusetts, no matter where you're at, whether you're contemplating, you're separated, you already started the process, you want to start mediation, wherever you're at, please feel free to reach out to Laurie. I'm sure she'd be delighted to provide you a consultation to see if and how she could help you, and how the mediation process would work specifically for your case. All her coordinates are here below. Thank you so much for being here, Laurie. Thank you all for watching. Until the next time we speak, I wish you a day that matters. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.